Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. April is here, and with it comes new energy, warmer weather, and yes, your Social Security payments. But this April, it's anything but ordinary. In fact, we're now watching one of the most explosive shakeups in Social Security history unfold in real time, guys. And breaking news just hours ago, President Trump has officially signed a powerful new executive order, one that's already sending shockwaves throughout Washington, D.C. In fact, it involves massive new tariffs, a bold plan to overhaul American manufacturing, and a new spotlight on this controversial agency called Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, which is now directly involved in scrubbing fraud from Social Security like never before. And of course, Elon Musk is leading the charge here. So whether you're budgeting for groceries, you're paying for paying your bills, or you're just checking when your deposit is due. Well, guys, this month, it's not just about when you get paid. It's about how much longer the systems can keep up and who's really in charge. And also what could actually change for you guys next. So some of these changes could actually bring long overdue relief, especially for public sector retirees. But others, they're raising real concerns, guys. Delays, Social Security clawbacks, and even the risk of benefits being cut off entirely for some vulnerable recipients. So if you are, or maybe someone you love depends on Social Security, SSI or SSDI, maybe a veteran beneficiary, stick with me, guys. So first, we're going to go over the full April payment schedule. If you guys are able to hear me okay, please just drop a quick yes in the comments, guys. Hope you guys are able to hear me. And so let's go over, we're going to go over the full April payment schedule. Then we're going to go ahead and dive into what Trump and his executive order really means, how Doge and the tariffs are shaking up the system, and how to protect yourself before it's too late. So pay attention, guys. And I'm going to break this down real simple. So I don't think you need to take notes unless you really want to. And hey, if you haven't already subscribed, now's the time. Definitely hit the like button for the video. I really appreciate you guys. And it helps to let more people who need to get this information out there to be able to get this information. So you guys are going to want to stay ahead of every twist and turn that this month brings. So originally, I planned to talk about Social Security payment dates and what to expect this month, right? Or I should technically say next month, because it's still March. So I'm really talking about April. But yes, we will get to that in just a moment, guys. But before we do, there's something that's happening behind the scenes that could seriously reshape how Social Security is managed, how it's funded, and even monitored going forward. Okay, because right now, as of this week, we are entering a full-blown policy shift. Okay, now President Trump just signed a brand new executive order. This is one that doesn't just affect trade or the auto industry, guys. It could actually affect the way that we protect and we fund Social Security itself. And wait until you hear what a Democratic senator just yelled out during a heated committee hearing about this. So stick with me, guys. So President Trump has officially imposed a 25% tariff on all foreign-made cars unless they're built right here in the United States. So this means any vehicle, car, or light truck that's coming from overseas, it's going to cost more to bring it in. Now, the idea is pretty simple here. Make it more attractive for companies to build their factories here in America and hire American workers instead of outsourcing labor to Mexico, Canada, or overseas.
But they have their choice of 7, as you know. And we're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth, taking a lot of things that they've been taking over the years. They've taken so much out of our country, friend and foe. And frankly, friend has been oftentimes much worse than foe. And this is very modest. And what we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff.
Wow. So why does this matter for Social Security, right? Because when more jobs come back, especially high-paying manufacturing jobs, it means more people are paying into the system. Social Security is funded through payroll taxes. It's not magic. And so if those jobs stay overseas, then the system keeps bleeding, if that makes any sense. But the car tariffs, they're just the start. You see, Trump confirmed that starting April 2nd, new tariffs are coming in hot on several other sectors. We're talking lumber to stop relying on foreign suppliers and reduce wildfire risk through better land use, pharmaceuticals to push drug production back onto American soil, and reciprocal tariffs on all countries, not just China or Mexico, everybody.
It's very exciting, but it's also exciting because of what's happening with other aspects. We're going to be doing tariffs on pharmaceuticals in order to bring our pharmaceutical industry back. We don't make anything here in terms of drugs, medical drugs, different types of drugs that you need, medicines. It's in other countries, largely made in China, a lot of it made in Ireland. Ireland was very smart. We love Ireland. But we're going to have that. We're going to have lumber. We're going to free up some of our land. And you'll be able to meet a lot of other standards like fire cuts. If Los Angeles had fire cuts, which they didn't have, that's a gap of half a football field between areas. You wouldn't have had the fires. They would have been contained. But you have fire cuts. And by the way, you sell that wood for a lot of money, a lot of profit. It's made for.
Wow. That's pretty interesting.
On April 2nd.
What does that mean?
Any more tariffs on any other sectors on April 2nd, for example, chips or pharmaceuticals?
Not then, but we will be putting a tariff on lumber. We, as you know, have a tariff already on steel and on aluminum of 25%. And we're taking in tremendous amounts of dollars. More importantly, our steel factories and aluminum factories are roaring. They're starting to roar. They're building new ones. I just heard from Nucor, which is a big company, a very big steel company, and they're building a massive plant for steel that they wouldn't build without this. So you're going to see things that are going to be actually amazing. And I think you already have. You know, we've had some news conferences where I can't have enough. They want to do news conferences where they announce they're going to spend 20, 30, 40 billion dollars. But Apple, as an example, is spending $500 billion. Okay, any other?
Wow. So what's the connection to Social Security here, right? Well, when the U.S. ramps up domestic production, especially in these high value sectors like steel, drugs, pharmaceuticals, energy, we create more taxable income. And more tax dollars coming in means more stability for systems like Social Security, which are currently projected to face some serious shortfalls in less than a decade. Now, guys, here's where things get really interesting and a little bit controversial. So this new tariff and manufacturing push isn't happening in a vacuum. In fact, it's kind of part of a broader shift that's driven by something called Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, which, love it or hate it, guys, it is literally being tasked with cleaning up government waste and rooting out fraud in Social Security. And they're already making moves. In fact, Trump's SSA nominee testified that they've identified 700 million questionable Social Security number cardholders in a massive cleanup effort.
But Doge has been delivering results, digging into fraud and waste in the program that could be delinquent in 10 years. Doge giving an update on their work, saying, quote, for the past 3 weeks, Social Security has been executing a major cleanup of their records. Approximately 7 million number holders, all listed age 120 plus, have now been marked as deceased. Another 5 million to go. Republicans say Democrats are in denial about the issues with the program and chose to ignore it under Biden.
Wow, that sounds like progress, right? I mean, well, not everyone agrees, guys. During that very same hearing, a Democratic senator basically just exploded, telling the nominee to, quote unquote, keep Elon Musk the hell out of Social Security.
It's about what the function is. He wants a body count. You're going to be under the thumb of Doge. That's the aspect of this that worries me.
I'm planning on running the agency, reporting to the president, and I think the president has made it clear that Doge is there for input, but the agency heads own their decisions.
Keep Musk the hell out of Social Security, please.
Wow. Holy cow, guys. What an outburst. But more importantly, why the outburst, right? Like, what is going on? By the way, for you guys just now joining the live, appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a quick yes if you guys are able to hear me okay. Because Doge's efforts, they're believed to be tech-backed, possibly drawing support or inspiration from Elon Musk style automation, and also different artificial intelligence or AI tools. And critics worry that handing over too much control to the tech giants like Elon Musk, or handing too much control over to the algorithms could risk accuracy, fairness, and privacy in our most critical benefit programs. But Doge defenders are actually saying that the system is already broken and that it needs real reform, not more bureaucracy. If you guys think it's broken, just comment broken down below, guys. So now the question becomes, are these changes going to save Social Security, or are they going to make Social Security harder to access? Well, I'm going to break that down for you guys in just a second, right along with the full April 2025 payment schedule and what you need to do if your check is delayed or reduced. Plus, I'm also going to show you guys how these new tariffs might impact your daily costs, from cars to medicine, and how it circles back to your benefits. So don't go anywhere, guys, because this next part's really important. So now let's talk about something that doesn't always make the headlines, especially with mainstream media, okay? But it absolutely should. U.S. manufacturing is making a big comeback, and it's coming back real fast. And if you've been wondering, like, what does a car factory or maybe a coal plant have to do with my Social Security check? Well, stick with me, guys, because the connection, I think it's a lot stronger than you think. In fact, Trump recently highlighted this major win in the car manufacturing world. Honda is building one of the largest auto plants in Indiana. Why now? Well, I was wondering that too. Well, it's because companies are now responding to the new 25% tariff on foreign-made cars. And they want to avoid it, right? They want to avoid it by building right here in the United States, because basically that's the only way that they're going to be able to avoid the 25% tariff.
Now those plants largely have stopped, and they're moving them to our country. In Indiana, the great state of Indiana, I love Indiana. Honda is building one of the biggest plants anywhere, and they've just started. They wouldn't have done it without this. In all cases, they wouldn't have done it without what we're doing. So we'll effectively be charging a 25% tariff. But if you build your car in the United States, there is no tariff. And what that means is a lot of foreign car companies, a lot of companies are going to be in great shape because they've already built their plant. But their plants are underutilized, so they'll be able to expand them inexpensively and quickly.
Wow. So foreign automakers are now actively scouting the United States sites, not to buy old factories, but to build new ones from the ground up. So that means thousands of jobs. And more importantly, millions of new payroll taxes going into Social Security. And so this is what keeps the system funded, workers paying in. But it's not just cars, guys. Wait until you hear what's happening with these chips, with electricity and energy plants, and more importantly, how it could affect both your bills and your benefits, okay? So next up, semiconductors, guys. Trump took a huge swing at Biden's CHIPS Act, saying it's just handed out money. It's just been handing out money with no accountability. But under Trump's executive order, there's a twist. You don't get access to the United States market unless you build here. And so this is exactly what TSMC, the world's largest chip maker from Taiwan, is currently doing. They're building a $200 billion plant over in Arizona. And it's expected to cover nearly 40% of the U.S. chip market, guys.
They have a lot of money. In our case, all we're doing is saying you can't come in unless you build here. And the largest chip company by far is manufacturer from Taiwan is building here, and it'll give us almost 40% of the chip market just with that. They're spending almost $200 billion in the United States to build a plant, and they've almost started. They'll be doing much of the work in Arizona. So we have a lot of exciting things, but to me, this is one of the most exciting. Now, outside of one specific day, and that's Liberation Day. That's the real Liberation Day of America, and that's going to be in April 2nd.
Wait. Before we go into April 2nd, guys, again, high-tech jobs, higher wages, more Social Security taxes are being paid in. So the more we build, the more secure the future of our benefits become. And so Trump also pointed out how he's fast tracking these permits for these new mega plants. He was bragging about getting permits approved in days, not decades, referencing how he cleared two LNG projects in Louisiana that had been stuck in red tape for over a decade. There you go. That's your bureaucracy for you, right? But that speed could be critical, not just for businesses, but for building the tax base that we need to keep Social Security afloat, right? And so when it comes to energy, Trump's not holding back. He's calling for reopening the coal mines, and what he calls clean, beautiful coal, and expanding oil and gas production.
And they're working together hand in hand because Interior has the land and Energy has the ability to do the drilling and do what they have to do. Our coal areas are going to be opened up for clean, beautiful coal. Germany's opening up many coal plants now. You know, they tried the wind and it didn't work. They almost went out of business. They almost went bankrupt. They tried wind, which is a disaster because it's too expensive and it doesn't look good, kills all the birds, a lot of problems.
Now, of course, he's slamming the wind power, calling it a complete failure in places like Germany and warning about the impact on wildlife. But the bigger story here are energy prices.
Germany is now building a lot of coal plants. China is building one a week. Think of that. And they're using coal, which is very powerful. Coal is a very powerful energy. And we're opening up our coal mines again, and we're going to do, I call it beautiful, clean coal. The technology is so good now that coal can give you tremendous power at the same time. It can be very clean. But we're also obviously doing oil and gas and various other things. You can do pretty much whatever you want. We don't like the wind because we think it ruins the landscapes, the plains, ruins them.
You know, I didn't know that you could do clean energy with coal. But anyway, so Trump says prices are dropping fast because of increased supply. And that's good, right? And when energy costs go down, it means lower production costs for companies. It means lower bills for retirees, for everybody, right? And less pressure to raise taxes to cover the rising federal expenses. And so all of this helps preserve Social Security's purchasing power. And so these massive shifts in automobiles, microchips, electricity, and energy, they're all designed to rebuild America's industrial backbone. And with that rebuild, it actually comes the revenue, the jobs, the tax contributions that Social Security desperately needs to survive. But the real question is, will it be enough? Right? And so this is what we're going to cover in the next section here. We're going to talk about what to expect in your April payment, how to protect yourself if your benefit delays or clawbacks hit, and why one Democratic senator exploded over the tech influence behind all of this, guys. So stick with me because you're going to want to hear what they said about Doge and Elon Musk on this one, okay? So let's talk about what might be the most controversial piece of the entire Social Security shakeup this month, okay? Because behind the scenes of one of the new tariffs and job growth, there's a quiet but very powerful agency that's actually pulling a lot of strings, and it's called Doge, guys, the Department of Government Efficiency. Now, this might sound like just another government acronym, but Doge is different, actually. It's been tasked with cleaning up waste, cracking down on fraud, and overhauling how government agencies like Social Security Administration operate, the SSA. And what they've already done? Well, let's just say it's got Washington all sorts of fired up.
But Doge has been delivering results, digging into fraud and waste in the program that could be delinquent in 10 years. Doge giving an update on their work, saying, quote, for the past 3 weeks, Social Security has been executing a major cleanup of their records. Approximately 7 million number holders, all listed age 120 plus, have now been marked as deceased. Another 5 million to go. Republicans say Democrats are in denial about the issues with the program and chose to ignore it under Biden.
We know that service and wait times and backlogs have existed. You've heard us all mention this. But you know what is so interesting is they accepted that during the Biden administration, and they refused to call it out. Speak as your approach to fraud and improper payments. by using technology to trace and chase?
I helped 3,500 banks figure out how to eliminate their fraud. It's a data business.
Wow. Now, according to testimony just released, Doge, working with the new Social Security or the new SSA nominee, has launched this sweeping audit of the Social Security database. They've already identified roughly 700 million Social Security number holders that are either outdated, inactive, or potentially fraudulent. That's right, guys. 700 million, nearly double the United States population. Now, you would think that might be a clue. You would think, right? Just unbelievable. And so this might sound like long overdue house cleaning, and maybe it is, right? But it's also raising a lot of real concerns about whether legitimate recipients could also get swept in the chaos. And think of this: seniors, the disabled, SSI, SSDI recipients, or surviving spouses suddenly flagged or even delayed because of a database purge. My bad. Wouldn't that be messed up if someone who's legitimately supposed to get a payment gets accidentally swept up and their payments get interrupted, right? And so during the hearing, one Democratic senator absolutely lost it, basically telling Elon Musk to keep Musk the hell out of Social Security. But why the rage, right? Because Doge is reportedly using private tech partnerships and possibly models inspired by Elon Musk's approach to automation and efficiency to basically power its fraud detection system. And so critics fear that this could mean AI-driven decisions replacing human caseworkers, maybe even faster but less personal service, and private companies having too much control over benefit systems. Who knows? But defenders of Doge, including Trump, are saying that this is exactly the disruption needed to save the system. And so here's where it all connects, guys. If Doge succeeds at rooting out the fraud, this could save billions of dollars. This is money that helps preserve the benefits for the people who actually need them. Not to mention, we were also promised that 20% of those savings would be sent back to us in the form of a Doge dividend stimulus check. Now, you comment down below if you're in support of getting a Doge dividend stimulus check, and if you are, just type in stimulus in the comments down below, guys. But if this system glitches or if it flags real people by mistake, like what's going to happen, right? So this could mean payment delays. This could mean denied payments or even full benefits just being entirely withheld until an appeal goes through. And remember, guys, starting March 27th, the SSA is now clawing back 100% of overpayments, not just 10% like under the Biden administration. So if Doge finds something that they think was overpaid even years ago, your entire check could be withheld until they recover it. And so, and the worst part, you might not even know you were overpaid in the first place. So coming up, guys, we're going to go over the step-by-step breakdown. We're going to talk about the Social Security payment schedule, what to do if your check is late or missing, and how to protect yourself from sudden clawbacks or account freezes during this transition. Now, if you're just now joining the live, I appreciate you guys hitting the like button and subscribing. And be sure to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. So if you rely on Social Security or if someone you love does, this next part is critical, guys. So stick with me here. And hey, again, if you haven't subscribed already, now's the time. But okay, these next few months, they're going to be wild. All right. And I want everyone to be ready. I want you guys to be prepared. So let's go and wrap up what most of you guys probably came here for. That's really important to you right now. The April 2025 Social Security payment schedule. So here's how it breaks down. So April 1st, you got SSI payments going out. April 3rd, payments for pretty much anyone who started receiving benefits before May 1997, or if you get both Social Security and SSI. April 9th, if your birthday is between the 1st and the 10th. April 16th, if your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th. And of course, April 23rd, if your birthday is between the 21st and the 31st. So mark your calendars accordingly. Now, if your payment doesn't show up by the expected date, well, wait at least 3 business days past your scheduled date. That's what they're going to tell you. And then if you still don't get it, then you can contact the SSA directly. at their 800 number. I think it's like 800-772-1213, but double check that. But you can also check your status through your My Social Security online account. And remember, guys, late payments, they're more likely during major administration shifts like now, with the whole Doge and the fraud cleanup. So stay vigilant on this. Don't let this sneak up on you guys, okay? Starting March 27th, the SSA can withhold 100% of your benefit to recover overpayments, a massive change from the previous 10% cap. So in order to protect yourself, log into the My Security account and review your payment history. If you notice overpayments, contact the SSA and request a repayment plan before they initiate the full clawback. And if you've ever noticed that your account's being reviewed or flagged, act quickly, guys. Don't ignore it. Keep the documentation, and if necessary, contact legal aid. So, and also with phone verification being phased out starting March 31st, make sure your online account is secured, and make sure that you're aware of any kind of phishing scams that are targeting SSA users, because some of these scammers out here, they're heartless, okay? So April's not just another round of Social Security checks. This is a turning point between Trump's new executive orders, the rise of Doge, the sweeping policy reversals across trade, energy, and tech. What happens in the next few months could literally determine the future of Social Security as we know it. So stay informed, guys. Stay alert. Most importantly, stay subscribed. If I'll keep breaking down what's real, what's changing, and what you can do to protect yourself and your loved ones. So anyway, guys, appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.